Starting today, Lumos V2 is officially out of beta. Thanks so much to everyone who's given feedback on it so far. We were able to greatly simplify while maintaining the essential features. Let's take a look at Lumos. The adaptive size folder powers the responsiveness of our entire site. They auto-reduce on each breakpoint, with larger sizes reducing at a greater rate. They're applied to font sizes, section spacing, general spacing within sections, icon heights, and more. This ensures visual consistency, so 5rem on our icon matches our 5rem section spacing, even when the value changes across breakpoints. We can use the space folder to space apart elements within a section, and the values are linked to the adaptive size folder. The largest inner space value we have is still smaller than the smallest padding vertical. These are the values applied to our section top and bottom, and that way elements that we space apart within a section will never feel like they're in two separate sections. To see this in practice, the gap between our button here, we could use space extra small. Between the text and the title, we could go with space small. Between the text and the buttons, we might use space medium. And our gap between the text and the image, vertical gap, we could go with space large. So that when things stack on mobile, our buttons are still closer to the text than they are to the image. And even this inner space of large is still smaller than the smallest top and bottom section space that we could have. When setting up fonts, we'll first upload our fonts to Webflow. Here our body font has a 300, 600, and 700 weight, and our heading font has a 500 weight. So in our font folder, we can set our primary family. This is the family we're using on the body. And let's set the weights we'll be using for that. We have a 300, a 600, and a 700 weight in this case. Let's also add a family for our headings. We'll call this secondary family, and we can choose our heading font here. We'll also need the weights we're going to have for that, so we can add a size variable. I'll call this my medium weight for this family, and we can choose from our font weight folder, and we're going to be grabbing the 500 weight. So if we want to switch out the weight we're using for this heading family, we can do it from one place instead of going to each heading individually. So then we have our individual styles like our paragraph small, paragraph large, our H1s through H6, our display, and our body style are all grouped in here. And to adjust an individual style like our H2, changing something here affects both the tag and the class version. So we can set our H2 to be our secondary family, the heading family. We can set its weight to be the secondary weight, this 500. And we can set its line height from the line height folder we have here. And we could also detach this if we wanted to do a one-off custom line height here. But this allows us to edit certain styles globally, like the letter spacing, the line height, text transform we can choose here. Maybe we want all of them to be uppercase. And font size we can choose from our adaptive size folder. For the color system, we can adjust the color of any element and all of its children from a data attribute that can be linked to component fields or CMS fields. We can easily animate any element between light and dark themes without losing the hover and active states. We can animate the entire navbar to light mode with GSAP or to dark mode, and this automatically includes all future variables we add to these modes. More on this in the color lesson. Our small, main, large space within our section can even be adjusted from component fields, giving us even more flexibility. So if this section was light, then we have two light sections back to back. We don't want all this extra bottom space, so we could plug small, main, large, or none, any of our section spacing variables here to apply them from component fields.